Well, howdy folks, and welcome back to the garage. Today I've got just the facts for you on the Hellcat, Tier 6 American tank destroyer. 2,507 Hellcats were produced between July 1943 and October 1944, and they held the record as the fastest American tracked vehicle ever made until the M1 Abrams came along. Having said that, the M18 is still faster on paved surfaces, capable of speeds upwards of 60 miles per hour. The Hellcat was armed with the M1 or the M1A2 76mm guns and was the most effective American tank destroyer in World War II, with a higher kill-to-loss ratio than any other tank or tank destroyer fielded by American forces. Here in Blitz, the Hellcat is just slightly different in a few key areas. Let's get the really bad news out of the way first. The Hellcat's hull armor is barely able to stop small arms fire. At 13mm front, side, and rear, it's just strong enough to keep the riffraff out. However, the HE ammunition of any opponent can penetrate Hellcat's hull armor, so it is extremely vulnerable to great suffering when hit. You could fill one of your equipment slots with the medium small liner to help reduce damage from ramming and HE explosions by 15%. The turret is somewhat better, with 76mm on the front, 31 on the sides, and 44mm on the rear. Sadly though, the turret is open-topped, leaving Hellcat more vulnerable to HE splash damage to crew and equipment. The gun mantlet does count as 75mm of spaced armor though, so always put your best foot forward, but in the end, getting hit by any enemy shells will almost always cause damage. I'm not saying your armor won't bounce shells, but they will be very few and far between. A much happier topic regarding Hellcat is the mobility, but even that has its blemishes. Hull traverse is okay at 30 degrees. Turret traverse, on the other hand, is worse than many German heavy tanks at 16 degrees and is a limitation that you need to keep in mind when fighting both in and against the Hellcat. View range is not great at 240 meters, but I would suggest running coated optics to give this a 10% boost. Power to weight ratio of 21.85 horsepower per ton is not bad, allowing an excellent top speed of 65 kilometers per hour and acceleration that I find okay, but nothing special. Hellcat's gun is another bright spot. While not historical in any way, the 90mm AT gun M3 brings a 7.06 rounds per minute rate of fire and will penetrate 160mm of enemy armor. If you come up against a particularly tough opponent, you can load up some spicy APCR and pen 243mm. Average damage on these rounds is 225 hit points. The gun is reasonably accurate at .35, and an aiming time of 1.7 seconds is excellent indeed. I would run the rammer to help bring that rate of fire up a little bit, accentuate the positive. Running the right consumables and provisions can also help you get a little more out of your Hellcat, and I like to run the multi-purpose restoration pack, the engine power boost, and the adrenaline for when you need to be the one to get the shot off first. Provisions can help you out as well, and the improved fuel will boost your turret traverse by 10%, but in real world terms that's only adding 1.6 degrees per second to the speed, bringing it up to 17.6 degrees per second. I am not sure that it's worth spending the 2,800 credits each round for that small reward. As well, if money was no object, I would run the very expensive Cola Crate to boost crew mastery. The one item here that I think is worth the 2,800 credits is the protective kit, considering how fragile Hellcat is. So what's cool about Hellcat, and how should you play it or fight against it? As the driver, you have a pretty darn good gun at your disposal and can make use of it from a distance. Do not attempt to brawl with other vehicles. It will cost you too much of your 800 hit point health pool. Hang back and put that 10 degrees of gun depression to good use, along with the rate of fire, accuracy, and aim time of this rather good gun. Use your mobility to lend your weight to whatever region of the map needs your help, but don't get all giddy and stupid at the beginning of the match and dash forward and end up so far ahead of your teammates that you are isolated and easy pickings for the enemy. As an opponent of Hellcat, load HE and blast the crap out of the fragile hull and open top turret. Beware the 90mm gun and its good pen and reasonable alpha, and don't try to outdo Hellcat with a gun depression contest. Hellcat can hold its own there. Well folks, there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below. If you really enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments. As well, be sure to visit my social media pages, both on Facebook and Twitter. This is where I post info that, well, not belonging in a video, it's worth taking a look at. I would also like to give a shout out to my Patreon supporters. You folks are making a huge difference for me. If you like what I do and enjoy the community all of us humans are building, please consider supporting the mission via my Patreon page. There are quite a few options with varying levels of support. Maybe one of them will suit you. Links to all things in the video description. Alright folks, thanks very much for stopping by and watching. I'll catch you next time.